Hey friends, welcome to another episode. For those who don't know me, this is Alfred. So today we're just going to talk about jobs. I know when you're in the right job, basically you enjoy everything, working with your colleagues, working till midnight, enjoying every challenge. But there comes a time when you really don't know whether to quit or whether to leave the job. And this is always a big debate within your mind, and you talk to your friends and talk to many people, go through sort of sleepless nights trying to make the right decisions, and for valid reasons, whether it's income or whatever it is. So there are these signs that I think you should kind of use them as benchmark when you decide when you want to leave the job and when you whether you stay or you don't want to stay. And one of the biggest things I feel is very important is toxic environment. I think for jobs where they compromise your principles and your integrity. For example, maybe your boss comes and tells you to sign a document that you feel is not the right way to do things, or basically make a phone call that you think or that is not the right way to approach the job, basically compromising either integrity issues or compromising the values of who you are. There's always a rule where you should not put professional values before personal values. So in terms of, let's say, who you are as a person or what you do, who you are basically as a human being, you should always avoid situations that compromise fundamentally your principles. So if your job is kind of that environment where it's toxic and your colleagues or whoever it is are encouraging you to do such things, or you feel like things have shifted from when you joined the job to that particular point where you feel it's compromising for you, I think for me it's right time to leave that particular job. I have also seen a situation where everything becomes too routine for you. So, I mean, from 8 to 5 or whatever time your work is, you're just basically doing the same thing. And that, for me, at some point you start feeling no motivation to work. It's just like an athlete. If an athlete is doing the same routine every day in terms of their training or whatever it is, achieves the same results, at some point their mind lacks motivation. At some point they get tired. And when your mind lacks the stimuli or stimulus to be able to do something new, then I feel that's not the right environment for me. The job is not pushing you to your limits. So I feel like you should leave at that point. It's something that you should consider a new challenge. I've also been in environments personally where the job is unhealthy in two ways. One is emotionally unhealthy. For example, you have a boss who's always shouting at you, or your colleagues are always basically downplaying whatever you're doing, basically putting you in an uncomfortable situation mentally or even physically sometimes. I mean, I'm sure there are certain situations or jobs where they're pushing you physically, and right, you know your limits as a human being. You know what you can take. But I think the biggest one that you kind of normally don't know is your mental limits. And if you're not careful, you end up being in a depression state or even basically being mentally unhealthy. So if you feel like either like the environment is not healthy for you, you should quit immediately. I think for me it's better to be in a jobless situation rather than push yourself mentally, because it's difficult to recover mentally. I know it's one of those things also that you don't know your limits, if I may use that word. So and mental situations normally just sort of appear gradually, and you don't realize, for example, that you are stressed. You don't realize that you're having an unhealthy lifestyle in terms of mental state, until you reach the tipping point. All of a sudden you are behaving strangely. Either you get angry very quickly. So one of the things that I've seen in my work environment, or just the random things that is not your normal behavior. So if you notice that you're getting to that point, I feel like it's something that you should consider either taking a good break, not necessarily leaving the job, but you can leave the job, but at least taking a good break. And I think or mostly just quit, because that environment is not good for you. We all have goals in life. When you join that job, you signed into a job description, you had a goal in your mind of where you can take that job. Now, there are jobs that when you reach a certain level, you've attained the goal. Basically, you've achieved what in your mind you cannot grow anymore, right? So you have a situation where, for example, you're an accountant, right? You have reached the ceiling or whatever targets that you've given yourself. Maybe you've reached a target in terms of where you had planned to when you signed up with your boss or a new company. So I feel like if you are able to, if you've attained your goal and you feel that you're not growing career-wise, it's time to take another challenge. Because when you don't do that, you stagnate and time moves quickly. So all of a sudden you'll feel like, oh, you're no longer marketable, or you're too old to change jobs. Then you'll find yourself other people coming in and being able to do the same role that you're doing. So if you feel that you've attained your goals in this company and then you need a new career or a new career break or whatever it is to refocus and to actually set new goals. I've also seen a situation where, and this has happened to me many times, is in the beginning, you're enjoying the job, and whatever the case, you're waking up early, you're staying up late to finish your work, you're enjoying the projects and all that kind. You kind of have that buzz. At some point, you feel like waking up is difficult. You're burning out too quickly. Every morning, it's difficult to wake up. Like, you just wake up and you're like, not another day, I can't wait for the weekends, I can't wait for this and all that. So when you are there, I think you should actually reevaluate yourself. Is it something that you're enjoying? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with my job? Is it something that I feel like I'm not being challenged? Have I burned out, right? So when that situation comes out, I feel like you should reconsider and probably quit or look for another challenge. I think those are kind of points that I was thinking in my head. I don't know what you feel are kind of the telltale signs that you should leave your job. I'd like to know in your comments, in the comments below, what are the things that have made you quit of the 5 points that I've mentioned. Yeah, so let me know. Till then, cheers, bye.